In some industries, the point of entry or the starting point into a new account or selling opportunity is very clear. In most cases, you are best to start at the top, whether that be at the top of the company, top of the division, or top of the department. When you start at the top, you may be delegated downward in the organizational structure. Sometimes you can use this to your advantage when you call further down the chain of command by saying, I spoke with the CEO, and after I explained why I was phoning, they suggested that I speak with you. People tend to pay attention when they hear that someone they consider to be their superior suggested that you speak with them. When you start further down the organizational structure, moving upward can be awkward if not impossible. Sometimes, depending on your business, the point of entry can vary. Here is an example of what I've experienced in the sales training industry. Sometimes, the CEO is the primary contact and point of entry. They are the driving force, they recognize that there is a need to take action, and they engage my services. They make the decision regarding training and let those impacted know what they've decided. Sometimes the sales manager is not pleased with their decision. They feel threatened by my presence and they are unsupportive about it. Sometimes the director of sales, sales manager, or VP of sales is the primary contact and point of entry. They have an appreciation for the value of training based on previous experience. They know they don't have the time to prepare and deliver materials, and sometimes they will even freely admit that they lack the expertise, and they will champion the cause and convince upper management that initiating a training program is the smart thing to do. Sometimes change can be driven from lower levels within an organization. The squeaky wheel can get the grease. A person who is on the front lines, someone who is an end user, or in my case, an on-the-street salesperson can create a fire from the bottom. I've had salespeople who have attended my public programs and then convinced the owner, president, or CEO of their company to meet with me and open the doors to a full-blown training program within their organization. Sometimes the most unlikely person can be the champion of change. I have had instances where the controller or someone else with an unlikely title emerged as the champion of change. They were younger and they had previously worked at another company that had experienced tremendous success because of a formalized structured sales training program. They believed in it so much that they were prepared to do whatever was necessary to fight for it. Although gatekeepers will often attempt to steer me towards the human resources manager or the training manager, they are seldom a point of entry because they rarely initiate training programs. They tend to get involved after someone else in the company has recognized the need to take action. When you are directed towards someone with a title who is the least likely to be the most appropriate contact person, you must gently assert yourself by saying something like this. I can understand why you might think that they would be the appropriate contact, and they will likely get involved at some point. However, usually I find that the insert title is the typical person who would be the first point of contact because they usually initiate programs such as this. May I ask who that would be? Work towards understanding the points of entry to an account within your industry. If you determine that there are multiple possibilities, then that means that when one contact won't return your calls or shuts you down, then you still aren't out of the game.
In order to prospect effectively, you must have a clear idea of which people or what industry or markets you prefer to do business with. In the spaces provided in your workbook, identify and describe who your preferred target markets or audiences are for your products and or services. Be specific and include details such as geography and or vertical channel markets. Review the examples on the following slides based on the sales training business. Facilitator-led sales training. Any organization that focuses their efforts in business-to-business sales and has a sales force of any number of individuals. Those organizations with fewer than 6 individuals are possible candidates for public workshops. Those with greater than 6 sales staff are possible candidates for on-site training programs. In all instances, the individuals in decision-making roles must believe in and support training initiatives. If the company already has a formalized sales training program internally and/or a sales training department that teaches soft selling skills, in most instances, they do not have a need for additional training support. We focus our efforts on business sales training and avoid retail or consumer sales environments. As we are a smaller company, there may be situations where we are unable to service the needs of a large Fortune 500 organization if their training initiatives require simultaneous training events or they must be delivered in languages other than English. Online sales training. Individuals or any organization that focuses their efforts in business-to-business sales and has a sales force of any number of individuals. In all instances, the individuals in decision-making roles must believe in and support training initiatives. If the company already offers formalized online sales training courses, in most instances, they do not have a need for additional training support. We focus our efforts on business sales training and avoid retail or consumer sales environments. This service is available to anyone, regardless of geography. Speaking engagements. Any organization that holds events for dealers, distributors, or national sales teams on a less frequent annual basis and want to provide sales training and/or motivational messages of a sales nature to the group. Sales and/or business coaching. Available on a limited basis. After a qualifying process, we must believe that we can provide the necessary expertise. Client must be prepared and willing to take action and engage in business or sales activities and be accountable to the coaching and a coaching program.
Learning Spotlight number 3. It's time to review what we've covered so far. Each question in the quiz has a 90-second time limit, and the quiz has a 15-minute time limit. You cannot pause the quiz once you begin. The quiz includes many types of questions including true or false, drag and drop, multiple answers, and etc. Read the questions carefully and make sure you understand what is being asked before submitting your response. Many of the questions, or variations of them, will be included in the final exam. You will be graded, and the passing grade for the quiz is 70%. You will have 3 chances to obtain a passing grade. If you fail to attain a passing grade after 3 attempts, you will be locked out of the course. You will have an opportunity to review the quiz responses upon successful completion. If you wish to review the previous slides and sections, do so before advancing. Upon completion of the quiz, please click on the green Next button with the white arrow in order to advance to the next step in the learning path. This concludes step number 6 of the learning path. Please click on the green Next button with the white arrow in order to advance when you are ready to proceed.